Or if you wanted to watch this live telecast or on live stream, you can go on Comcast Channel 27 or on youtube.com/Daly City Video Meetings or on the web at www.dalycity.org/agendas. There are two ways to submit public comment. Number one, you can submit written comments by the meeting day. And secondly, you can submit written comments during the meeting, and also third, obviously attend the meeting in person. Let me now call this meeting to order. Could you all please rise and say the pledge with me? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Can we get a roll call, Madam Clerk?
Ms. DiGiovanni?
Present.
Dr. Rod?
Present.
Ms. Manalo? Ms. Manalo?
Madam Clerk, I'm
Mr. Sylvester?
Glenn Sylvester, present.
Mr. Buenaventura?
Present. Thank you, Madam Clerk. All right, we have three presentations to start off with. The first is the age-friendly Daly City. The task force chair is Phyllis Rizzi. Ms. Rizzi, welcome.
Yay.
Yeah. Come on.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and Council.
Good evening.
I am very pleased to have a chance to again address the city and the council on our age-friendly Daly City initiative. We recently did a survey to gain access to information needed among the neighborhoods, and it was quite extensive. We had a fair amount of respondents, and we have gained quite a bit of information which will help us go forward. The main event for this turned out to be a wonderful donation by Michael Akana Travel Associates to offer a cruise for the drawing of someone who took part in the survey, and we also offered a few prizes as an incentive as well. Tonight we have the prize winner. I don't see Mr. Akana in the audience. He may have been tied up for the evening, but we have the prize winner, Wendy Cariff, and she will receive a certificate, and we'll work with him to use her prize. I believe it's a 3-day cruise, and they will work out the statistics together. We did offer 4 other prize drawings of gift cards, and those were given out or at least acknowledged at our last task force meeting. Thank you so much, and thank you everybody in the audience who participated in our survey. It will be very helpful for us.
Great. Thank you very much, Phyllis. Let me call up Wendy Curry so we can present you with a certificate. You want to step up front? All right. Before I step down, let me just read your certificate for everyone to hear. This is a certificate of commendation. It is with great pleasure to present this certificate to Wendy Curry. The City of Daly City commends your participation in the age-friendly survey and congratulates you on being the grand prize winner. We wish best wishes to all of you, your future endeavors. Presented this 14th day of August, 2023, signed by all the members of the council.
Thank you very much. What a treat. Thank you. Oh.
1, 2, 3. Wait, do a little closer. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you. You want to say a few words? Go ahead.
What a treat. This is really, really kind of this person. I'll have to go thank him. I can't wait to go to Vancouver. And I'm just loving Daly City more and more every day. So thank you.
Oh, welcome. Thank you. Congratulations. Moving on to our second presentation, which is from the DCPLA Fund the Need Grant to the Daly City Public Library. Here presenting is Director Teresa Perano of the Daly City Public Library Associate. Good evening.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. I'm very happy to see you here.
Nice
How
to
are
see
you?
you.
How is everybody? Good?
Doing well,
Yeah, right. And school's starting?
just about.
Well, and so I'll start and just say good evening to our mayor, vice mayor, and council members, and Jocelyn over there. I wanted to say, and you know, my name is Teresa Perano, and I'm honored to be here. And I was the chair of the Daly City Public Library Associates Annual St. Patrick's Day Luncheon, which was held at the Coma Community Center in March. And we saw some of you there, and we were very pleased. I hope if you have not made it, we hope you'll come next time. We were blessed to have an amazing committee, and our committee was Susan Brisnan Smith, Charles Cannon from Ceremony Lexus, Brian Dawsey, City Manager of Coma, Adrian Tissier, and our Executive Director, Victoria, and the Board of Directors of DCPLA. They worked very, very hard with the committee to have this successful event. And we had community and business leaders in attendance, as well as DCPLA members. That was the best part. If you're a member, you get to come. And we had delicious corned beef and cabbage, and we had tasty Irish soda bread, and we had live music from a bagpiper, Lynn Miller, and we had a wonderful speaker. I don't know if many of you know it, but Charles Cannon from Ceremony Lexus is an author, and so he spoke, and his grandmother, right? His mother was a librarian. So it was really nice to hear his points of view and how business in the car business also transcends to everyday life. And so I'm here today, most importantly, to present, well, first of all, before I do that, we promised to announce the $2,500 sponsors we had. So we had 3, Cypress Lawn Cemetery Association, Duggan Sarah Mortuary, 4, Kaiser Permanente, and Seramonte, Kia, Subaru, and Volkswagen. We had 3 amazing Fund the Need presenters, and this year Felicia Leong, Mike Gangona, and Helen Fizzacaro. They spoke and helped raise $9,960. Yes, so we had $1,760 for Storytime Furniture and Rugs, and I know we all going to go check those out when we get that in, right? And $3,600 for program funding, and $4,600 for high-demand ebooks. So that's something that helps all our community, which is so important. So I wanted to thank all of you and the public and our board and people who donated. We had a long list of people who donated so that we could help the Daly City Public Libraries. So thank you very much. I know the check has already been in the mail and received. Yeah, I don't have the check, but I hear you have it, and I wanted to thank each and every one of you. And before I leave, did you have any questions?
Oh, I'm sure they do. Any questions? Go ahead. No?
No?
Well, go ahead.
Just want to say, Ms. Perano and all of you here, Ms. Victoria and everyone about Shayla, and anyone in our library, and that you've done everything you can to try to promote it. I know that the ebooks and you guys have stayed that way. People can borrow things. The librarians have been able to work with Ms. Reezy on the age-friendly, training those with the digital divide. There's so many things that you guys have done. We can't keep up because you guys keep coming and with a heart that's giving. So you do it with heart, and you do it because you care. And our libraries are thriving because of that, and our community. So thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mayor.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you again to DCPLA. I think just from my time just being involved and from the get-go, from day one, from being on the library board of trustees till now, DCPLA is just doing it, and helping our whole community, from the young ones to our elders, and just thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you. And we just want to thank all of you because we can't do it alone, right? So we have your support, and we have the community support, and because of that, we're able to succeed. So thank you so much. Thank you. Yes.
Mr. Sylvester.
Yes, Mr. Sylvester.
Ms. Perano, thank you so much for being here this evening. It's great to see you. Most of us here on council do know everyone at DCPLA, and took me by surprise this evening when I saw your name, because the usual suspect who I usually see giving us money is Mr. Nuris. But I'm glad you're here.
Thank you.
I want to say thank you so much to DCPLA and everything that you do, and you continue to do. And I made a promise approximately, I think it was 3 years ago, when you gave some funding, and it was going to be used for a particular item that I have yet to get there and to use. And that's your 3D printer. Chella's smiling because she said, "Oh, yeah, I remember you said that." So thank you for what you continue to do and all the different aspects within the library system that the normal common folk do not know, but not only it has become more efficient, but it's a way of bringing in new ideas and technology. So thank you so much for all of DCPLA for being up on what's relevant. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I think the Vice Mayor, Ms. Manalo, had a comment. Go ahead, Vice Mayor Manalo.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I think you coined it the best, that DCPLA is the gift that keeps on giving. And yeah, you coined it the best a while ago, and they continue to keep on giving. And, you know, from someone growing up in Daly City that went to the public libraries as a youth, you know, to seeing how you bring, you know, try to bring technological advancement to these community hubs. Thank you very much.
I wanted to also make a comment, and I think everybody's covered your service with the library and how great it is. But I've been meaning to tell you this, which is, I watch all of the planning commission meetings, and I got to tell you, you really, when you make a decision, you're very thoughtful, and you could tell that decisions aren't easy for you, meaning that you really want to do the right thing, and I can sense that, and you put your heart into it, and you just, man, I love it the way you deliberate. And so I've been meaning to tell you, see, you're doing it now.
I'm gonna do it again.
But because I know that you're putting everything you can into making the right decision. And so I wanted to tell you that for a long time.
Thank you.
I'm glad I finally had the opportunity, so I want to thank you for your service.
Thank you. And thank you, Glenn, for appointing me, because it's an honor. It's the biggest honor to serve the community in whatever capacity I can. And the fun part, I mean, it's so much fun to work with the community and all of you. So thank you.
You're doing
Thank
great.
you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Anyway.
All right, so now we have a proclamation for Republic Services, Allied Waste of Daly City, and the Teamsters. I had asked Vice Mayor Manala to do the presentation, but she's not here because of sickness. Vice Mayor Manala, can you still do it?
Hi, can you hear me, Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, I can. I can read the presentation this evening.
Go ahead.
If it's okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. It's really a delightful moment to honor our Daly City Teamsters Local 350 members with Republic Services. It's really to say thank you for the work they've done. And the proclamation is, whereas sanitary truck drivers and helpers, Teamsters Local 350 is an affiliate of the International Brotherhood of Teamsters and represents members in the Solid Waste and Recycling Division, Linen Division, and Public Sector in the City and County of San Francisco, San Mateo County, Santa Clara County, and San Benito County, making it one of the largest solid waste and recycling local unions in the country. And whereas Teamsters Local 350 has a longstanding legacy of advocating for workers' rights and providing its members with the tools and support necessary by actively engaging in collective bargaining on behalf of its members to secure fair wages, improved working conditions, and comprehensive benefits. And whereas for more than 86 years, Teamsters Local 350 has been fighting and continues to fight for working class families under the current leadership of Secretary Treasurer John Bouchard, and the local union has continued to negotiate the best contracts for its members, raising the bar for all waste division locals in the nation. And whereas Teamsters Local 350 and the members of the Republic Services Allied Waste Services of Daly City Unit deserve to be honored for all the work they contributed to Daly City and continue to contribute, providing clean and free of waste before, during, and after the pandemic by working nonstop and prioritizing the health and safety of the city's residents. And just really an honor to present this proclamation. Mr. Mayor, if you would do the honor to present it to our Republic Service Allied Waste Services of Daly City, Teamsters Local 350.
Yes, could you come on up here and I'll present?
I'm good. These guys deserve the credit.
When you guys hold it, I'll take a picture with all you guys. All right. Go ahead. Thank you very much. Take some. Sure.
Well, I'll keep this brief. Thank you very much to the City Council for all your support over the years. I can truly say that this City Council has been very supportive of our members for decades, and we appreciate this recognition. It's not often that members that do this work are recognized by the cities that they service. So to take the time to honor them tonight is we're very appreciative of that. And I also want to just thank our members. As Vice Mayor Manalo alluded to, they were essential workers during the pandemic, which was exceptional, but they've been servicing the residents and businesses of Daly City for decades as union members. And I just want to thank them for their dedication to the residents and businesses of this city for many, many years. In some cases, we're talking over 30 years as some of these guys, I'm looking at Al here. So thank you for having us here tonight and for recognizing the work that our members do.
I think we probably have some comments. Any comments? Go ahead, Mr. Giovanni.
Okay, thank you. As I said before, when the Teamsters in the house, it's all good. Because everything you do, if you want something done, it's the Teamsters, especially Teamsters 350. I see you out there, and I see especially this gentleman in particular, because I live at Westlake. Every day I see him, I'm always say Pueri and all that with the 350, and like we're like going back and forth while he's just pushing those recycling bins. He just keeps right on going, and Tony Estrada and all of you. So I like it's when you're in that mix and you feel that energy. That's positive energy, knowing that they're on the job and they're doing it. And they're doing it with commitment, dedication, hard work, and they give 110%, if not more. And you already know that. Both of you already know that, the leads of the Teamsters, and I'm sure Republic Services recognizes that and appreciates that. And it's things that we don't see, right? People in their normal day lives, I try to tell them, these are our sanitation workers. These are what keeps everybody healthy. It is part of health. I believe it's part of health. And that you guys take a big risk. It's a big risk. And when they talk about heroes wearing capes and all those terms, that I say, yeah, it's 3:50 in the morning. Early in the morning when I see those lights blinking and you think it's something else and you're getting your coffee ready and you run downstairs and you see that smile and the 350 is there, you're like, you can depend on it. I was like, yeah. So kudos to all of you, and we look forward to many more. And yes, definitely 100% support. And you got great leadership and energy. And please tell all the drivers and everyone that they are recognized, believe me. And I love even going by and they beep the horn, or they'll go by the corner, and then if I'm coming out, then they beep the horn again. And those are the things, to recognize, you got the support, right? And you know how, and I always go like that. So you know how I am, right? So I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I don't mind saying it, and I don't mind showing it, because you deserve the great gratitude. And I'm so humbled and grateful that you chose, and such a union. The Teamsters are on the job, and we have nothing to worry about because you get the job done. And we know it in every place you go. So I know who to call when I want something done. I call the Teamsters. So thank you very much, and bravo to the leadership. And keep it going. Stay healthy. I pray for you guys every day, and I know it's a hard job. And many of you know that we have already lost, some members, and we have to give homage to that. And that's pretty painful, and it's family. That's your family. So you'll see me out there. You see me. So I'll see you in the morning. So thank you very much, and thanks, Mayor. Go Teamsters 350.
Any other comments? Go ahead, Dr.
Sure. When I was driving over here, I was listening to this song, and this song was by this group called Blink-182, and it was called All the Small Things. If you don't know, Google it. But it is. That song is like a pop punk song, and it is all the small things that we don't see, but speaks so much volumes. I think many residents kind of just see it as just clockwork, as if it's just how we expect the day to rise and the moon to rise, that our garbage would be picked up. And from the bottom of my heart, I just want to say thank you, and I recognize you, and I see you all, and thank you for everything that you do.
Thank you, Dr. Ron. Go ahead, Mr. Sylvester.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I want to, and the mayor had alluded to it a little bit earlier, but this person was kind of modest and shy. I want to give kudos to Mr. Travis Armstrong. Actually, he runs the shop over there on Edgeworth, and I just wanted to let the Teamsters know, it was a few years ago when you were going through your contract. He called me in, and he supported you. And he was definitely an advocate for you. A happy worker is a good working worker. And Mr. Armstrong knows that. During the pandemic, I learned that there was times where he would give certificates or something like that for food for your families. And you all realize that. We all appreciate you, especially in the work you do. Every Christmas, I make it a habit of leaving something for my waste pickup for the driver. The only bad part of that is I have to get up about 4:30 or 5 o'clock in the morning to do so. But you know what? God love her, my wife does that. So I won't leave it out all night because I think somebody will take it. So we want to get it just as soon as they get there. And she would leave, and I'm not going to tell you what it is, but she would leave it there outside. And bless her soul, she'd go up to the front window and waits while I'm sleeping soundly. So anyway, come by and they kind of acknowledge and give a wave. And then later on, we find out another truck comes. Oh man, we forgot about the other truck. And so we talked to the driver of the second truck, and he says, oh yeah, what's his name is off today, but he'll be here next week. So we made a point to make sure he gets something as well. We love you folks. So only Travis knows my address, so and knows the route. So thank you so much. I want to say you're really, really appreciated. And again, I can't overemphasize, thank you for everything you do. continue to do, and what you have done. Thank you so much. And Mr. Armstrong, well-deserved. Good job. Well done. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sylvester. Great job, guys. Thank you very much for all that you do. You guys are terrific. And Daly City is such a good place because of you. So thank you. All right, so let's move on to the approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of the July.
Sorry, Mayor.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We have
Madam
Vice
Vice
Mayor.
Mayor, go ahead. Sorry about that.
Oh no, Mr. Mayor, I just wanted to also say thank you to the Teamsters. But one thing I wanted to share with all of them is actually my son the other day said he does want to be a truck driver. He said that he tries to watch you all in the morning. It was like, and he gets so excited. But I mean, from all the way to the young and all the way to the old, you impact our lives, like my colleagues have mentioned, in huge ways. And it's we don't say thank you enough. So thank you once again. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
All right, thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. Thank you. Yes, go ahead. Come on up.
I just briefly, I'd be remiss if I did not recognize my predecessor, Bob Morales, who ran this local for many, many years, and I believe organized these guys for the first time. So I just want to make sure that he's recognized as well. Anytime you honor Local 350 and our members, we're always honoring Bob Morales as well. So thank you all very much.
Thank you for mentioning that. All right. All right, thank you, gentlemen. All right, now let's go on to the approval of the regular meeting minutes of July 24th, 2023. Can I get a motion to approve those minutes?
Glenn Sylvester, motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Objection, hearing none, those minutes are approved. Let's go on to the approval of the agenda. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion to approve the agenda?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any objection? Hearing none, the agenda is approved. Public appearances, oral communications. Do we have any speaker cards, Madam Clerk? We do not. All right, let's go on to the consent agenda. Any items want to be pulled by any of our council members? Hearing none, can I get a motion to approve?
Vice Mayor has
Oh,
her hand up.
Go ahead, Madam Vice Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just wanted to state that this is to notify the City Council that I will participate remotely at this meeting due to medical reasons pursuant to AB 2449. I don't think you heard me earlier, and I just wanted to put that on record. And with that, motion to approve the consent agenda.
All right, I have a motion. Can I get a second?
Glenn
Second.
Sylvester, second.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any objection? Hearing none, the consent agenda is approved. Let's go on to communications. Item number 15, approval of written response to the 2023 grand jury report, accessory dwelling units, affordable housing's panacea or prevarication. Mr. Von Lockheiser.
Yes, thank you, Mayor, members of the City Council. This is a request by the city staff that the City Council approve the prepared response to the grand jury with regard to accessory dwelling units. The grand jury, as indicated in the staff report, issued a number of findings with regard to how accessory dwelling units are used to account for the construction of affordable housing in San Mateo County. And each of the cities in San Mateo County is required within 45 days to issue a response to the grand jury. Attached to the staff report is our prepared response to that. We have no PowerPoint presentation or anything like that to go over with you, but did want to say that the City of Daly City has had a very robust accessory dwelling unit program. And for those of you who may not know what an accessory dwelling unit is, the typical, we say ADU for short, the typical ADU in Daly City is essentially a separate unit with a kitchen, and it's usually been built downstairs inside a single-family home. Legislation beginning in 2018 allowed accessory dwelling units to be built without, for example, additional parking in the rear of homes, so a detached unit. And so you may have seen some of those going up in the neighborhoods. There have been a few approved. They're up to 2 stories, and they are allowed by right. So there's no sort of public hearing or anything like that. But what the issue that's come to the grand jury is the extent to which these units are counted toward the city's affordability. And as we discussed in the housing element process, the city's issued a regional housing need allocation in Daly City that's about 4,800 units rather. And we are proposing about 500 of those units come from the construction of ADUs, and that's based on a projected construction, based on the past construction. In Daly City, we've had a very robust program of ADU construction. And so that's where the city of Daly City stands with ADUs. This particular grand jury report is not aimed necessarily at Daly City. As I'd indicated, all of the cities in the county are required to respond to it. There are several findings, again, with regard to monitoring ADU construction for affordability, and the State Department of Housing and Community Development may come to us with when they respond to our housing element and ask for some sort of monitoring. It's our understanding of state law that monitoring of ADUs is required if the city offers some sort of an incentive to construct an ADU. And then if the property owner takes the city up on that incentive, then we can do some monitoring of that. But without that, there's not any sort of monitoring. ADUs, just by their nature of where they're constructed, again, typically in the downstairs of a home, have been factually an affordable component of our housing stock. And there have been several studies done, Bay Area wide and in this county, to prove that, and we've counted them towards the RENA in the past and expect to do that in the future. But essentially, that's the essence of the grand jury report. There's several findings, of course, and you may have taken a chance to read the draft response letter that, if the city council approves tonight, will be signed by the mayor and sent to the grand jury tomorrow. If there's any questions about that, I'd be happy to answer any of the questions council members may have.
Thank you, Michael. Any questions? Go ahead, Mr. Sylvester.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. No questions. Mr. Longhausen, I wanted to acknowledge you and appreciate the work that you and the staff has done on this. I've actually took a chance to read it, and generally when the grand jury comes out with recommendations, it's always agree, agree, agree. But you did not do that, especially in the area of monitoring. Sections are throughout, and you say further analysis is needed. And you then just rubber stamp it and say, okay, agree. So I really appreciate that. And in the areas of F2, F3, F3 where they called out other cities.
Yes.
Atherton, Hillsborough, to which we know in regards to Arena, and you did not call them out. You just said no response. I think that was an excellent response. And overall, it shows that you actually read through every word and answered them to the best of your ability based on what the city needs of Daly City is or are. So I want to say great job, and thank you so much for yourself and everyone else who worked on this. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember.
Any other questions? I had a question, just out of curiosity. When you say construction, do those, I guess, what are those crates, storage crates, are those considered construction ADUs or not?
They could be. To my knowledge, we haven't approved a crate ADU, although it could be that I don't know about one. But yes, you could, if it meets the building code, you could, in theory, use a construction crate as an ADU. But to my knowledge, we don't have any.
We don't have that. Okay, all right. I'm just, go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. I guess this is probably all arbitrary, but I know, like you were saying, weren't we one of the only cities back in, I don't know what the history is here, that did the ADUs? Does anybody know what year? But it appears to me that we were ahead of our time in doing the ADUs.
That is true. So state law began to really ramp up on, they called them second units or granny units back then in about the mid-1980s. But Daly City's actually had a program for ADU construction since the early 1980s. And a lot of it stemmed from to be honest, from the illegal construction of ADUs. And the city in the 1990s went through an amnesty program called Project Home Safe,
Yeah.
where we actually allowed people to legalize a lot of, the units, and those are defined as having a kitchen. So yes, we have sort of preceded a lot of the effort by the state to have a robust ADU program in Daly City.
So thank you to you and your department for doing that. Because I remember, so if anybody wanted to be an expert, it's in the other cities, they should have contacted you because you're the expert at ADUs now. But thank you very much, and thank you to the staff.
Thank you, council member.
Madam Vice Mayor, did you have any questions?
No questions, Mayor. Thank you.
Any other comments?
One
Go
more,
ahead.
Mr. Mayor. Thank you so much. Thank you for the information once again, and being a member of HEART, and anyone who's considering an ADU, part of moving forward is to get architectural drawings to basically put an ADU in. And if I'm not mistaken, Daly City has approved the preliminary drawings that was submitted through HART, and anyone can download those plans based upon the biggest size you want, whether it be a studio, one bedroom, I think all the way on up to two bedrooms, and the plans are free. So why pay an architect when you can just download them for free? And if you're considering it, it's a way to go. And I believe the city has approved most of those plans. So I just want to put that out there for the public to know. So we are a caring city in the sense like we are one of the earliest, but at the same time, we do understand the housing needs. Thank you. Thank you again, Mr. Longhausen.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all right, can I get a motion to approve or to accept the report?
Glenn Sylvester, motion.
Second?
All right, can all those in favor say aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Any objection? Hearing none, the item is approved. Thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Van Holkhuizen. Let's go on to ordinance number 16, which is the second reading, ordinance 1468, amending zoning map to rezone 1618 Sullivan Avenue to commercial retail and office commercial cannabis. Ms. Zimmerman.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Members of the City Council, this item came before the council as an introduction. This is a second reading for adoption for ordinance number 1468.
Can I get do we have any comments or questions? Hearing none, can I get a motion to adopt this ordinance?
So move.
Can I get a second? I'll second. All right, can we get a roll call, please?
Ms. DiGiovanni,
No?
Dr. Rod,
Yes.
Ms. Manalo,
Yes.
Mr. Sylvester,
Glenn Sylvester, no.
Mr. Buenaventura.
Aye. Okay, that ordinance passes. Let's go on to appointments, board, commission, membership committee appointments. Any appointments? Hearing none, let's go on to reports. Council committee reports. Any council committee reports? Madam Vice Mayor?
No council committee reports. I'll save it till next time, Mayor.
All right, let's go on to city council reports. Any city council report? Go ahead, Ms. DiGiovanni.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First, let's start off with the National Night Out with our Daly City Police Department. And our acting chief was phenomenal. It was the largest turnout, partnering with a ceremony with Reyes and Rodriguez. And we had looked like the whole department. It was nice to see the vibe and then the positivity. We had our K-9 unit, we had the SWAT team, we had our police assistants, we had the explorers, and our community partners who really, really enjoyed it. We had our veterans and many of the churches, and I liked the way it was organized this time, and it had to be the biggest turnout. And then our recreation, everybody was there, library, everybody. So if you weren't there, you missed it. Please come next year. And you could tell that the positivity of our Daly City and the people that came in, they live far away, our law enforcement, but they came in. They came in and were a part of it. And I want people to realize that they came because they know the community supports them. So I know it's appreciated by them, but it's appreciated by myself and probably others that they had the K9 was great. And the horses, I don't know where they came from. I don't think they're ours. Maybe we should get some horses, I'm not so sure. But it was really great. CHP was there, AMR, our Daly City firefighters came and supported, and looking forward to next year. And the weather held out. And thank you, Marie Villarosa at Ceremony and partners that always come to the table and give us a community space. So really grateful. And then the Bay Shore's second anniversary. People were saying second anniversary. Hasn't it been there a while? Well, the good news is it used to be the Boys and Girls Club of the history for the people to know. And since that time, I would say the word vibrant is an understatement. There were so many people there, and it was all ages. It was children. Opal was cooking clam chowder, homemade, mind you, and with a smile on her face, and everybody was enjoying it. There were games, there were so many activities, and I just want to say Denise was there, and it was just unbelievable. That place has grown, and the participation, the library participation, and I see why, and I look forward to our libraries and other places being open on Saturdays as well, because you can tell that these are the places people really gravitate to. They really gravitate to them for community. So some people think it's like back in the day. No, this is what's now and what's in the future. So I want to grateful thank you all for what you do, and it was really off the top, and the food was delicious as well. So that's it for now. Thank you.
All right. Any other city council reports?
I just want to
Yes,
do
go ahead.
one. I just want to recognize August 11th, 1973. It's been the 50th year of hip hop. And I just want to just share a little something small. In the rec room of an apartment building on Sedgwick Avenue, an 18-year-old Clive Campbell throws a back-to-school party with his younger sister, Cindy. Friends and neighbors dance to familiar sounds of artists like James Brown, Aretha Franklin, and the Meters. And only something has changed. Behind two turntables, Clive, better known as DJ Kool Herc, plays two copies of the same record, a technique known as the merry-go-round. From one moves back and forth from one record to the next, looping the percussion portions of each track to keep the beat alive. And amongst this community of dancers, artists, musicians, and poets, hip-hop is born. So I just want to recognize the 50th anniversary of hip-hop. Hip-hop cultures has definitely changed my life in terms of using poetry, rap, dance as a way of expression, but also as a way of a form of identity for myself and many people. Want to recognize Daly City in terms of hip hop culture and birthing some of the best DJs out of the world. From the Invisible Scratch Pickles to DJ Qbert, all these people emerged out of the garage in Daly City, from garage party culture into the clubs, and you see it today, where people just go specifically for a DJ, and hip hop is now in the curriculum. Like we have the site for hip hop learning community at Skyline College, and I've worked with many students. I've taught in that learning community, and just want to recognize the birth of hip hop in its 50th anniversary.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Rod. Any other city council reports? Hearing none. Madam Vice Mayor,
yeah.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I want to say, Councilmember Das Magwal, thank you for bringing that up because, like you, in my life has been impacted by hip hop. No, thank you. And so I know you want to help. Thank you, Ethan. But I just want to say thank you for bringing that forth. And you're right. Daly City has had an impact globally with our just our local DJ, and they've touched the world in a global way. And for highlighting that, I also wanted to mention that I was able to catch the tail end of National Night Out in the community, and I was in the time frame of when they were doing the raffle. It was cold, very cold, but yet also a lot of people. There are a lot of people present, and really amazing to see. Also, I wanted to also mention that I got to celebrate with the Yi internship program.
Uh-oh, I think we might have lost you. Are you still there?
The youth internship program. And we had some interns from that were in some of our Daly City departments. And I just wanted to recognize how thank you to the staff that had hosted these youth. It's really important to host youth. Yes, that's right. Thank you for God for our city. Sorry for the background noise for my son. And then also Bay Shore's second anniversary. I was also present to be there. Also was mentioning Peninsula Family Services. They had their resource day. It was actually a very hot day compared to National Night Out. But it was really great to have both those events with one and seeing the community present and vibrant in the Bayshore community. Also want to mention that Vibes and Smiles in collaboration with the city of Daly City had a great turnout to provide supplies for the JSD school as well as Bayshore.
Okay,
I'll end it with that and I'll just continue at the next meeting. Thank you.
okay, thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. Go ahead, Mr. Giovanni.
It goes without being remiss. Before I ended up, next time I want to tell our city manager, I was walking around the National Night Out, and wastewater was over on the other side. I didn't even know they were like till they put it over the other side because usually they're closer in, and so it was nice to see wastewater. Keith O. Fresca. I think she was doing a part of the MCN and everything. And so we want to bring them in closer next time. Tell those guys, tell Greg, and because I was like, they're in the corner. I said, oh no, they got to come a little bit closer. I think they were over there by the, where the horses were. I guess maybe they didn't want to put them too close. But it was great. So it was nice participation from the city. It was great. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, any other city council reports? Hearing none, how about staff reports? Any staff report?
Yeah, I'll be brief, sir,
Yeah.
through the chair. Prior to coming here, I was a proud member of Teamsters Local 350, so I thought I'd just bring that up today. And wastewater told me that they were given that designated spot, so they didn't have a
that's
choice, they would have been right in the mix.
They
if
were great,
could have been.
though.
All right,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Piccolani.
The little water
All right,
drop.
let's go on to our Journey in Memories. We have several. Let me start with Ms. Giovanni. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is always the part. So let me begin with, I guess there's been so many, with the first one is Michael J. Ramsey. He was an engineer with the San Mateo Consolidated Fire Department. He passed away on July 21st, 2023. He was born April the 6th, 1961. He had 33 years of fire service, but 26 years with the San Mateo Consolidated Fire Department. He's survived by his wife and 3 beautiful children. And I want to say our Daly City firefighters came and took their spots so they would be allowed to attend the services of their fellow firefighter. Also, sadly, is that most of you know that August the 6th, 2023, there was a crash, and that crash from CAL FIRE was the Assistant Chief Josh Biscoff, the pilot Tony Souza, the fire captain Tim Rodriguez. And then also we have a local boy that grew up in Daly City, and he is the son of Carol and David Inocencio. And his mother called me today and said, this is what she would like people to know. Most of you know him because he went to Westmore and graduated in 1981. In honor of their beloved son, he was raised in Daly City, a product of our school system, a proud Westmore Ram, class of 81. He excelled in football and soccer. He attended Skyline College and SF State, majoring in social work. He started a newspaper 26 years ago by going into juvenile halls and giving these kids a pencil, paper to write their thoughts and feelings. This paper is now nationwide, and it is called The Beat Within. He even continued his work and went into the federal prisons to extend his word to let people know they are not forgotten about. David gave a voice to the forgotten and unheard in our society. He was well respected and loved. And as his mom said on the phone today, he accepted all people just for who they are. He was a no judgment zone. And lastly, I'd like to close in the memory of Rex Arnott. He is the husband of our friend Sandy Arnott, who's our county tax collector. But more than that, she's a friend. She told me today, Rex Arnott passed away on July 28th. He was 74 years old. He was retired from Carpenter's Local 22 and had a larger-than-life personality. He was born and raised in Broadmoor, graduated in the class of 1967 from Westmore High School, and was residing in Broadmoor with his loving wife, Sandy. He leaves behind his 3 grown children, Greg, Jennifer, and Ashley, daughter-in-law Maureen, and his loving grandchildren, Jackson and Avery. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and to the victims of Maui as well, and all law enforcement that have passed away across the nation. Thank you.
All right, we'd also, go ahead, Mr. Sylvester.
Before you go, I'd like to provide one.
Go ahead.
Thank you. I'm sorry I didn't provide it earlier, but I had lost the obituary. It actually happened quite some time ago, near the beginning of this month. A family member of mine, well, actually, my other profession was law enforcement, and everybody in law enforcement is my family. Just like now I'm in Daly City and all staff is my family, so I consider you my family. Far too soon and far too suddenly, Bob passed away due to complications during surgery related to his courageous battle with cancer. He was born in San Francisco to Juliet and Jean Baptiste Putz, P-U-T-S. Bob attended École Notre Dame des Victoires Elementary School and St. Ignatius Prep in 1971. And San Francisco State University. While at San Francisco State University, Bob became a police cadet and entered the San Francisco Police Academy at the age of 20. He was the youngest in his class, and he was sworn in as a police officer when he was 21. Bob, throughout his 30-year career in law enforcement with SFPD, rising through the ranks and ultimately retiring as commander. He held positions of officer, sergeant, inspector, lieutenant, and commander across various stations and departments, including Southern Station, Tactical Unit, SWAT Team, and the Honda Unit, Northern Station, the Inspectors Bureau, Bayview Station, and on the command staff. Bob retired in 2004, having been awarded silver and bronze medals of valor and several captain's commendations. But most importantly, having served with a handful of wonderful partners and forming many lifelong friendships, after 1 year in retirement, Bob began his second career working as corporate security at PG&E. Bob began his second career, and he enjoyed 14 years working with retired officers from federal and local police agencies, and joked with his friends and family about being IT. He retired for the final time in 2019, and after becoming a grandfather for the first time. Bob loved to tell stories, often the ones he told you previously. Over the years, he enjoyed coaching, traveling with his sons to various soccer, baseball, and basketball games. He also cherished playing for SFPD softball and basketball teams locally and in the police Olympics. In retirement, he enjoyed spending time exercising, especially the water aerobics class with the dolphins and playing with his grandchildren. Now, if you notice, I did not say dolphins. I said dolphins, D-O-L-L. So I kind of guess what that was all about. Bob fully dedicated himself to what he enjoyed doing. He volunteered for many years with the Police Credit Union, to which I'm on the board. We served together, and on the board of directors. In addition, he volunteered with the 100 Club of San Mateo County, serving on the board of directors and the advisory board of the International Institute of Criminal Justice. Bob is survived by his loving wife of 48 years, Debbie, his sons John Collins and Dan Marie. Loving grandfather to Andrew, 4, twins Nathan and Tyler, 17 months, and Aubrey, 4 weeks. He was also survived by his sister Suzanne Eleche, Gabriel, sister-in-law Denise Walsh, Jim, nieces Natalie Eliche and Kelly, and Walsh McKenna, Dave, nephew Ryan Walsh, Katie, and great nephews Patrick and Charlie, and Jack Walsh. We will miss him dearly. But you know, there's one part of this obituary, and that was a note from one of his sons. I'm not going to read the entire note, but basically the last paragraph. And it says the following. It seems cliche, but please tell the ones you love that you love them. And if you're pouring yourself your favorite cocktail, his was a Manhattan, please toast the greatest man I have ever met. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr.
Mr. Mayor.
Sylvester. Any other adjourned memories? If not, let's.
Mr. Mayor,
Go ahead,
I do.
Go ahead, Madam Vice Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd also like to add in our adjourned memory, Ernesto Papalan Balahadia, and extend deepest condolences to his wife and family. And also in solidarity, also requested in memory of Rex Arnott. And I had also sent that to our staff once I found out. So deepest condolences to our treasurer, tax collector, Sandy Arnott. Thank you.
And also, we'd like to adjourn in memory of Bruce Davies, who was the father-in-law of Peter Willery, chief mechanic in Daly City. With that, let's take a moment of silence to honor them. Okay, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much, everybody. Good night.